This tutorial is sponsored by Patreon. Thank you all for your support. Hello everyone, welcome back to the new episode. In today's episode we're gonna be creating advanced stamina system, and I was trying to figure out what should I do next, so I decided to create really advanced stamina system. I mean, not really, but intermediate, without using event tick. It's gonna be used only with event dispatcher to be maximum performance, and it's just very nice, and you will see very good use of code. So we can start. We're gonna do it inside of our HP character, and the first thing that I want to do is I will create an event for stop sprinting and start sprinting. And why I'm gonna create event and not a function is because I'm gonna use a little bit of delays, because we will have the UI that's gonna be kind of dynamic, you will see. So first thing, we will go to our character movement and we're gonna check what's our max walk speed, and we're gonna set it to 350. This is just for my case. If you have a different number, just keep it as that. And we're gonna open the event graph again, and we're gonna create custom event and call it stop sprinting. And from the stop sprinting, we're just gonna get character movement, and we will set max walk speed to be the one that we selected before. So this is our normal walk speed when we are not running, and we're gonna make new event, new variable, sorry, so it is sprinting. We can do it without space, and we're gonna set is sprinting to no, to false, and we're gonna go back here in the future. We will actually we'll go back to, here in the future. I will show you why. And now we're gonna create custom event again and call it start sprint. So we're gonna trigger these events with our shift key. So we can set max walk speed from there. Actually, we need to copy that, and we can go ahead and copy this as well. And now we can select our sprint speed. I will put 700. You can put whatever you like. I will put it actually to 1000 just to prove you it works, so we can see it clearly. And we will set is sprinting to true here. Okay, so we have these custom events now. I want to create inputs now. I'm gonna create input action, call it IA sprint, and now we just add it here to the mappings. Select IA sprint and select the key value and press shift. I will hold it on left shift, but you can do whatever you want, of course. So we have input now. We have our input now. So we can go ahead and test it out. IA sprint. So from the started, that's like pressed, and completed is like released in the old input actions. So when we complete, we want to stop sprinting for now, and here we want to start sprinting. So now if we go and test it out, as you can see, we can sprint. As you can see, I'm sprinting. Okay, that works. So now I want to create UI. We'll go to the UI, and in master UI, I'm gonna create progress bar, and I will call it stamina bar, and I will set it as a variable so I can call it from my HP character. And I will make it just like this, and I will anchor it to the top. I will put to 0, 0, 0 0.5, 0 0.5, and we can position it like 50 on Y axis, and that should work good. background image is gonna be 0. Opacity is gonna be 0, so we don't have background image. That should work. And the fill image is just gonna be white. So if we go ahead and test out, you can see we can fill it, but our fill color is blue and I want it to be white. Okay. So that should work now. That's perfect. But now we need to create event dispatcher to update this bar every time we run and every time we stop running. So how are we gonna do that one? It's pretty simple. By going event begin play, adding pin to our sequence, and then we will first create event dispatcher and call it update stamina bar. So this event dispatcher is just gonna update our stamina bar. So we can pull it out here and we can bind event to update stamina bar. So what are we doing here is basically we're gonna create event that's gonna be called when we call this event dispatcher. So from here we can just create a new event. Sorry, not like this. We can just create custom event and call it update stamina UI, just like that, like this. And now we will get our master UI ref. So if you remember how we get this, is we basically called it here, we created it, and then we got a reference to it. So from this master UI ref, because we made the progress bar inside of it, we can just call it from there, and we can just get progress bar, stamina bar, sorry. So now we have reference to stamina bar, and we want to set percentage of it. So pull it from the stamina bar, and our percent is going to be two new variables that we're going to make. One is going to be called stamina, and the second one is going to be called max stamina. They will both be float because we need decimal number, and also our start stamina is going to be 100, and our max stamina is going to be 100 as well. So now what we can do is we can just pull stamina here, get stamina, and get max stamina. And when we divide this with max stamina, we will get nice percentage number, just like that. So now we have event dispatcher that works, and we have event for it. So what we need now is this all works, but we cannot change our UI because we basically don't have drain and regen functions. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna create a drain stamina, and also I'm gonna create regen stamina. Maybe we should first create a drain one. So how are we gonna create a drain stamina is just simply creating new event for it. So we can bind it to our input action here. So drain stamina, we're gonna drain it by selecting our stamina. We select our stamina and we subtract. And this I'm gonna promote to local to variable and call it stamina drain per second. Just like that. We're gonna clump it. So the maximum is gonna be our max stamina and the minimum is gonna be 0. You can also change it if you want to go into minus. And here, from here, we're gonna set stamina. So now we're gonna make it equal. So if it's equal to 0, we're gonna get branch. So hold B, left click to get branch, or just type in branch. And if it's true that our stamina is equal to 0, we're gonna stop sprinting because we don't have any stamina left. And here we are also gonna get a branch, and we're gonna get if it's sprinting. So if our character is sprinting, there comes the thing that I wanted to make with UI. We will set a little bit of delay, let's say 0.5 or 1, actually we can put 1, and we can get our master UI ref and get our stamina bar. So we're just calling our UI here, and we can set visibility of it like that to visible. So basically what this does here is when we start sprinting, so when we start losing our stamina, it's gonna show us UI so we can see how much stamina we have left, and from here we're just gonna call the same event here, and we're just gonna loop it like this. So we call this event here, and you know what we need here as well. So you remember we created binding, so we don't have to make it on event tick. We can make it on the event dispatcher. So we can go from here and just call update stamina bar. Perfect. So now this should work. So here, when we start sprinting, we can go and drain stamina. So now you will see it actually should work. Actually, it doesn't work. So let me see. Subtract from stamina. So if we put one on there, it's still not updating it. Let's see what we did wrong there. Stamina, our stamina is 100, max stamina is... Oh, we didn't set up stamina drain per second, so we're gonna drain 2 per second. So let's see if it works. Doesn't work, I got jump scared by my own game. So this should be working, but I don't know why not. Max stamina. Okay, let's see, this should be visibility off. Collapsed. Okay, it's working. So, as you can see, it's slowly losing stamina, but we need to make it so our fill image, or background image rather, should be 0.3, so we can see when we lose stamina. Let's see. Okay, so it works kinda, but it's not really smooth. So we're gonna fix that one. So we can set it like here. We can put delay 0.1 and stamina drain per second should be lower, because now if we compile and play, as you can see, it's just losing so much stamina. So if we put stamina drain like 0.01, that is not going so fast. What if we put 0.1? As you can see, it's a little bit more. We can put it like 0.1, and delay we can put it like 0.03. Let's test this. As you can see now, it becomes cleaner. The smaller number are, the cleaner it gets. But as you can see, our stamina is not regening right now. We are just able to spend it, and also when we stop sprinting, we still have UI, and we don't want that, because I didn't plan it like that. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna create another event call it regen stamina. And it's gonna regenerate our stamina, as the name says. So we're gonna get our stamina. And now instead of subtracting, like we did in drain, we're gonna add. And here it's gonna be stamina regen per second. Make sure you make it as a variable. It's just easier later on, but you can also just put hard number if you want. We're gonna clump it, clump float, and our max stamina is gonna be our max stamina. And from return value we can set stamina. So here we're gonna equal it. If it's equal to 100, we're gonna create branch. So hold B, left click, and you get the branch. And from true, we're gonna set visibility. Actually, we need to get our master URF first. And we need to get stamina bar. And we're gonna set visibility. So this is visibility of our UI. So I planned it when we regen our stamina. I want us to see how it regens on the UI, but also you can have it as disabled. But here we basically want to collapse it, because if it's equal to 100, that means we regened all that we needed and we don't need that UI anymore. But from the false, we want to set visibility to true. But first of all, we want to see if the character is sprinting. So if the character is sprinting, actually if the character is not sprinting, we will add small delay. And I found this number works really good, so I'm gonna put it here as well. We can put this number, and we can copy this, set visibility, and change it to visible. Also now, just like we did in the drain stamina, we will loop this around and we are gonna call this again. So it's basically looping around and being called constantly. And then we're just gonna call update stamina bar, our event dispatcher that we made. So now this should be working perfect. So if we go ahead and call regen stamina here, if we full screen it, you can see better. We can spend stamina, but also it's very low regen, and we can fix that one here. And let's put it as 0.3. Maybe this should work. Let's see. So we sprint. I always get jump scared by that. Sprint, and now we are regening stamina. And the moment we regen it, it's gonna disappear from our screen. Also, we have a problem here right now. If we stand still, we are wasting our stamina. So what we are gonna do here is pretty simple fix. So we need to go to our input. So we have input action here, and here we have our stop sprinting, and I wanted to add a little bit of delay here before we can regen, because it would be stupid if we just stay calm and then we start regening instantly. So I'm gonna add 1 second before we start regening the stamina. This should work good. But here we have a problem with holding shift. So when we hold shift, we are draining everything, even though we are not moving. So how are we gonna check this if we are moving? First of all, I'm gonna move this here. I'm gonna break it with Alt left click, and I'm getting new branch. My branch is gonna be if it's equal, if it's less or equal. So if my stamina is less or equal to 0, I will get branch for false. So if my stamina value is equal or less to 0, and if that is false, so if it's not, we're gonna call the branch that's gonna check if we move. So we are gonna get velocity, and we're gonna make it not equal exactly. So if we are literally not moving, it's not gonna. So if that's true, then we are gonna start sprinting and drain stamina. But if this is not true, then we don't do anything. We just don't lose any stamina here. So if we compile and save, you can see we cannot. But if we are moving, it still drains. We stop. After 1 second, it regens stamina. So you can see here. One second, and the regen stamina, and our UI disappears. If we hold in place, so here, we hold shift in place, nothing happens. So that should be perfect. We also have problem with jumping. So we can maybe do it like this. Can use jumping, make it a variable, make it a boolean, sorry, and set is jumping to true and then false. And now we will create another branch here. Okay, regen stamina, drain stamina. We add branch, and if is jumping is false, then we call this. So now you can see if we jump, we cannot. But now we have a problem, we can just spam jump. Okay, let's do it like this. Let's make it that we cannot sprint if we are jumping. Get jumping condition if it's jumping. So if we are jumping, if that is true, we're not gonna do anything, but if we are not jumping, we can sprint. What did I do? Okay, we can try it now. Okay, so now, even though we are jumping, it's still draining stamina. But if we stay in place, it cannot be drained. And if we jump, it cannot be drained. And it can be drained again. Okay. Okay, now it doesn't work. It's just simple bugs, but I don't want to go too much in details in this series, because we are gonna have a lot of episodes where we're gonna be doing bug fixing. But for now, this should be a good system. And I wanted to come back here, and after we stop sprinting, I want to make delay 1.5 seconds. So that means we have a delay before regening mana. Stamina, I mean. So, as you can see, this system is working very well, but I just want to make this a little bit smaller. And just move it back to 0 on X value. And now we go. We can also change color if you want. We can put it as yellow, for example. Yellow works. So if we go ahead and run, I always get jump scared. As you can see, it works very well and it's smooth, very smooth. But if you want to lower the stamina, so if you want to increase the drain, I mean, we can just make it here. We can make it 0.5. Now you'll see we're gonna, you know, drain it a bit faster. So it's very extendable, this system, and it works very well, and it's very good on performance. What happened? On performance, since we didn't do any event ticks, we did everything with event dispatcher, so that's really good. And in the next episode, we're gonna be doing head bobbing, so we can start shaking our camera a little bit because it's horror game. And as you can see, system is working perfect. So thank you for watching, guys, and see you in the next episode. Bye.